Oh yeah, there it is. That sound we all love. The sound of the cadence of hiking. Beautiful green forest. Nice and dark and lush and cool inside when the sun hits you nice and warm and toasty. The smell of nature. Sometimes nature doesn't smell that good. This time it smells good. So I had a great birthday. It was great celebrating my 48th with my fiance and family and puppies. Went to the beach on my birthday as well, so it was nice to get those rays in, and a little bit of sand and vitamin D and smell of salt water, a little bit of smell of fish as well. But it was a great birthday. I've had a nice downtime. Very enjoyable to be able to spend time with the woman I love and will spend the rest of my life with. But that was just awesome for these few weeks, being able to take this break. Some people might wonder, I've touched on it in a couple videos, but why did you take a break, Fortune? Well, let me tell you. She was going to be coming up to see me in towards the end of May, close to my birthday, like upstate New York or Connecticut, Massachusetts, wherever I would have been at that point. But we were going to meet up, spend a few days together like we did in Perrysburg. Spend a few days together and then continue on. But I had decided, I put a lot of thought into it over a couple days, that it's just more economical if I went home for a little bit. I was ahead of schedule, and when I say schedule, there is no schedule, obviously, but I was ahead of the time that I needed to be to make sure that I hit, the New England states in the time that I would need to be done by the time I wanted to. Quite a bit ahead of schedule. Still winter up in the Whites and in Maine, so I had time to spare. Much more economical. Obviously, staying in hotels, eating out, which I'll tell you straight up, that hiker hunger hits. You'll eat anything, but the thing I desired most was home-cooked food. So that was another huge benefit, just getting home-cooked food, for a few weeks and be able to, just spend quality time with my bride-to-be and the dogs and family. In no particular order. Obviously, the bride-to-be is first, but dogs and family, I guess, they're all family, so I don't know. Don't hate me because I said it that way. But, it was a great time. But I also let my body heal up because I had some more issues than what I thought. I had a couple of the bouts, flare-ups that I have in my guts in those last couple of weeks before I took that break, and those flare-ups continued quite harsh for the first couple weeks of being back home. So I really did need to do that. I'm not going to get into it, and I don't really, you all can guess if you want, but I know what the issues were, and I just needed to, replenish my body, because at the end of the day, I've went 3,000 miles in basically 8 months over the course of a year, but a few of those months was off in between the PCT and AT, but that's a lot of miles. Never let my body fully heal after the PCT, so it was definitely something I needed for my body to be able to take that rest. So my guts, as I like to call them, are feeling much better now. I did have some foot issues too. Some pretty intense pains around the big bone right below the toes, and then the muscles on the arch. I think what it is, at the end of the day, I just overextended muscles and tendons around there, and it just needed to heal up. Nothing was injured, nothing was serious, just, quite sore, constant. And then, of course, just the overall use of going for 12 months, or 8 of the 12 months. Even during those down months, though, I was still climbing mountains and jogging and everything else to stay in tip-top shape for the AT. So it did me a lot of good to have just, a few weeks of rest versus just a couple days, which is good because, I have 2 different through hikes I need to finish this year. Obviously, I don't have to finish them, but it's in my best interest. I'm going for this Triple Crown, which is the AT, the PCT, and the CDT. I have a few hundred miles of the PCT left from last year that I could not finish because of the fires. Did every bit of it that I could except those. And then, of course, about 900 or so on the AT. A lot less than half, or quite a bit less than half when I go back. And obviously I want to do that this year for both the AT and the PCT, try to knock them both out. Then I'm only left with the CDT. Obviously, there's a lot of logistical problems with all of that. As you know, PCT in the West Coast had a lot of snow this year, not as much in Oregon and Washington, and some of the, I have a small section of Oregon, small section in Northern California, than most of Washington to finish, and it is not quite as bad snow there, but obviously it's more north, so that snow can last a little longer before it melts off. But it's in a record-breaking snow melt right now, which means it might be cleared up by the beginning of June. Normally it's not cleared up till July, so that means the wildfire season could start a little earlier. So there's just a bunch of logistical problems and things I have to figure out. So it was good I had these couple weeks here, even though it was kind of stressful, still, trying to figure all that out, because I go finish the AT and, I'm not going to think about the PCT until the AT is done. The problem is I finish the AT, everything could be on fire in the PCT, and then I'm not be able to do it, I mean. So then that caused the issue in my mind, because I'm very analytical and I never stop, but yet I'm very spontaneous and I don't like to plan. So as you can see, that's a lot of problems going on in my head. And I had already made up my mind when I came back here I was going to stay at least till my birthday. And there was even a small part of me that said, I might not go back. I might not be able to do it this year for various reasons. Number one, I just missed the tar out of my, bride-to-be, and we're getting married later this year. And I thought, if maybe I could just come back next year and finish that. Or maybe I will. It just depends on various things, economically, time restraints, what's going on with weather, how my body's doing. Because, I could push through a lot of pains and muscles and bone issues and so forth and so on. But dealing with the gut issues day after day, that's a problem. Because obviously it's not just the digestion that's an issue. It could be malnourishment. It could be not having enough vitamins, dehydration. A lot of different things could go into that when I have the digestion issues. So those are all things that I, have to figure out, or had to figure out, and really weigh my options and everything. I'm never quitting. I'll never quit. It's just, it might had to have been postponed for various reasons. But then it also was the whole logistical part, should I just stay and do the PCT to get that out of the way and get it done? Or should I do the PCT first and then go and do the AT? Or I can even go to the AT and do Katahdin backwards and finish up that last part. So there's a lot of different things, but, I think I've come to a conclusion of what I'm going to do. Obviously, some of it, because I don't plan 3 months ahead. It's not who I am. I'm very spontaneous, and if I planned 3 months ahead, it'd be changed 20 times before that 3 months was up. So yeah, just a lot of things that I had to weigh in my mind and figure out what was going to be best for Fortune. I appreciate you all coming along this journey, but at the end of the day, it's my journey. It's something that I have to do and what's right for me. I'll never quit hiking, through hiking, going on these journeys. But that being said, the information and what you've all been waiting for. This video is brought to you by... I'm joking. So here it is. And like I said, I can't really plan because too many variables. But I've decided to kind of go with the way I started out at the beginning of the year. I think that's still the best choice. So I'm heading back to trail to the AT, the Appalachian, and finishing up that 900 or so miles. And then, if I get done in the time that I think I'll get done, I will have plenty of time to finish up Washington and the small part of southern Oregon and northern California. That would finish up the PCT as well, so I would have both of them 100% complete and only the CDT at that point. The PCT, I can't plan on that. That's out of my mind. I said it here, so you know that that's kind of what I'm looking to do. That's at least the steps I'm taking. I'm taking the steps of the AT first and then going to the PCT. If I can't get to the PCT this year because of time, because of weather, because of fires, I'll do that next year or whenever I can. But that would be, obviously, as long as I can, as long as I have the time, as long as, you know, even the funds are available, you know, I will do the PCT after the AT, as long as my body can handle it, as long as, you know, the weather and the time is all there, then that is the plan. Because I would rather, you know me, I'm a conqueror, and I like to beat things and take them down and stand on top of those mountains. So I'd rather do both of them this year and conquer them both. Because like I said, last year I was out there later than most people, getting every bit of it done that I could. And I would love to finish that this year. I would love to finish the AT this year. I know my bride-to-be, Lane, is 100% backs me. And we had a great time together. Great bonding and being close and just love and affection and everything else that you don't get when you're apart. And our cups are full, so to speak. And I think that'll get us through till the end. Obviously, we're communicating all the time. We're always, you know, making sure that we're very... I can't talk right now, apparently, because I have too many things at once in my mind. I will tell you, the last few days have been very scatterbrained in my head because I am thinking of so many things at once. But we're very close, and we always make sure we do everything to let each other know how important we are to each other. And we will continue to do that even if we're not able to see each other over the next couple months until these are finished. Well, the AT being finished, and then obviously going back to the PCT, I'll be able to spend some time with her before starting that, but probably not much time because I won't have a whole lot of time available. But that's all played by ear because I might get done with the AT and there might be fires that prevent me from being able to finish that up, or some kind of weather or something else going on. So day by day, step by step, that's the loose plan. So you might see another video or two. I was wanting to do a couple of videos on, you know, different things that I've learned from the AT, maybe some things, tutorials that people could benefit from, my experiences and so forth. So I might actually release a couple of those videos before you see the next hiking videos on the AT. You know, taking off from where I left off, or taking off from where I left off. I think I'm saying that right. But if you don't see those, the next video you see will be me on the trail heading to Katahdin. And the bag is ready. I emptied out all the things out of the bag and made room for all the next 200 summits or so that I'm going to be crossing. I'm excited. I'm going to miss my babe. I'm going to miss my pups, or our pups. But at the end of the day, I am looking forward to conquering the tar out of the Appalachian Trail and then the PCT. So let's go put this stuff in the bag.